Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to have a tour of my sketchbook slash commonplace book. And a little story about this. I was originally making it as a commonplace to store my quotes and ideas and things that inspired me. Mostly words and maybe some doodles. You'll kind of see in the beginning it started out that way and then it just evolved into a sort of sketchbook of mine. And I got this little book from the last bookstore in Los Angeles back in March 2020. Literally, I got this right before the lockdown happened. So this has been with me through and through for like 3 years. And for more context, this book was here during a time I personally remember as a really tumultuous one. It was a year since I've made the switch from applying to medical school to pursuing art. And I was undoing a lot of limiting beliefs set into me. Beliefs such as the starving artist myth, or the need to hustle to succeed, or the requirement to suffer to work. I knew that things could be better and had a lot of external voices putting me down and saying that's not true. So this book was a way for me to reinforce and to navigate what resonated with me and leaving the rest behind. That it's okay to find joy and to slow down. And it has been such an integral part of my creative journey and self-esteem. And looking back, it was such a magical time, even though it didn't feel like it. I was so inspired and there was still a lot of playfulness to my art that I often forget nowadays. It's nice to be able to look back at it and relive those feelings. Let's take a look. The first page. As you can tell, this is very well loved because it's just broken by the binds. So I usually like to start off the first pages with like the date and where I got this book. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I got it in March 2020. Dun, dun, dun. I drew a little picture of Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle just because I felt like doodling a little bit. I usually overthink a lot when I draw, so this was more of a loose sketch. And this is basically the page that has served me as a commonplace book. I definitely loved quotes revolving flowers and sun and overcoming. It's like a little self-love on a page. And I would just go back and just read these and encourage myself. Most of these quotes are from Gemma Troy on Instagram, and I highly recommend checking her out. I love her poems and her words. It's just so beautiful. And I was kind of leaning into the cottagecore, dreamy vibes going on. I just really liked how I was finding happiness in the quiet moments. I've been obsessed with Vincent van Gogh's quotes as well. And I especially really love this Mr. Rogers quote. He just drew like a little house with like a stick figure, and it's just very endearing. And basically he's asking, do you like to draw with crayons? I'm not very good at it, but it doesn't matter. It's the fun of doing it that's important. Now, I wouldn't have made that if I just thought about it. No matter how anybody says it is, it feels good to have made something. The best thing is that each person's would be different. In a way, you've already won in this world, because you're the only one who can be you. And that's the way it's supposed to be. I love reading this quote because I'm such a perfectionist and I just feel like I have nothing to really offer in this, really, I guess, saturated market of art. It just helps me remember that we as humans are unique already. Like, we all have different interpretations of the same thing. And so that's what makes us like automatically unique. It also helps me kind of loosen up and just be okay with just drawing simple, quote unquote, ugly drawings. Yeah, you could kind of tell from the pages what has been going on. I don't want to get too much into detail about it. More quotes. And this is kind of when I was starting to get more into the sketchbook aspect of my commonplace book. I just doodled with a pen just because I wanted to loosen up, and I was, again, overthinking. If you overthink a lot on your drawings, you just kind of get too bogged down the details and everything looks weird. Kind of like when you say the same word over and over and over, it just sounds weird. That's just kind of what happened. So I basically pulled up a good old YouTube video and just drew. I had a thing going where I wanted to make the starry sky on this page, but it kind of just fell through. I wasn't really inspired anymore. This page kind of gives me a laugh because I've been writing out quotes from Full Metal Alchemist, the anime, which is amazing, by the way, if you have never seen it. Literally one of my favorites. But this was like the time when I was just binging it. Okay, so I had to get some tea before I continued on with this sketchbook tour, which is like literally perfect because I have stumbled upon a time when it's Halloween. You can tell because of the Halloween Town quotes and this sketch with Cozy Kitsune, who basically, in my opinion, just thrives in autumn content. I really like the picture that she posted on Instagram that one time, so I just drew it. And these are little flowers that I've been practicing to make for a commission of mine. They wanted peonies in the background and I really wanted to give it justice, so I've just been practicing on here. More Vincent van Gogh quotes. And then we have a sketch of Miss Susie from the Korean drama Startup. To be honest with you, I didn't really like this drama just because I just can't handle lying. But that's just me. I heard it was really, really good. But I really, really love this quote. You are a cosmos flower and it's still spring. Wait until fall and you will bloom beautifully. Be patient. And this really resonated with me because I'm very much a late bloomer in all aspects of my life. And also the cosmos flower is basically my birthday flower, so I just thought it was the perfect quote for me to add in here. And this is just a art study of the new Adventure Time show. It's like a cover art of the song that accompanied the show called, I think it's called Obsidian's Distant Lands. And I really like the way they drew everything, and I kind of wanted to stray away at the moment from all the realistic drawings and just see how people stylize their drawings, and I just really loved it, so I just thought I wanted to study it. I also really like the song lyric that says, "You're the pink in my cheeks," and I love that it means I'm a little bit soft. So cute. My investment for this couple is disproportionate to the investment that I have for the show itself. I also have some rupee cord quotes and a little bit of a rough croquis doodling on here. I was really obsessed with red color pencil and a blue ballpoint pen. I just thought it was really cute and I love how it popped. I also have some more quotes on here that reminded me that it's okay to be slow and to be gentle and to not make any sense of what's going on. I think the quotes that stand out from this page are the Jim Carrey ones. I found his life so fascinating. I just love how he just unapologetically went for his dreams for acting. I'm not sure about nowadays, but I personally think he's like a comedic genius. At least his old stuff. I really love his old stuff, like Bruce Almighty and what was that other movie? Like where he's like in this sitcom simulated world. Good stuff. It's funny, it's hilarious, but it's very thought-provoking and I love it. But anyways, I had my obsession with Jim Carrey here, and one of the quotes that stood out for me was this one: "I learned many great lessons from my father, not the very least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." And I love that so much. I think the backstory, if I loosely remember, is that his father had a very stable job and he got laid off from it. That really taught Jim Carrey a lesson that nothing's ever stable, and his father spent his life being miserable at this job that at the end of the day was not able to keep. So it's like a nice reminder to take a chance on what you love, because nothing is guaranteed, everything is risky. And even though it was February, I really felt compelled to paint this scene from a show called Over the Garden Wall, which, if you guys haven't even watched it yet and you love fall, what the heck are you doing? It's like a Cartoon Network miniseries. I highly recommend it. Like this cute little scene of this frog couple with her short king. It's just, I don't know, I just really love the way the scene was composed and drawn. It's just so cute. So I wanted to recreate it using like pink and reds with blue. Chill and cute fall mood. And from then on, I was kind of obsessed with frogs, as you can tell. I've been kind of inspired by almost abstract, like rough illustrations where the lines are very definite. It looks like a deliberate, not messiness, but like a way of illustrating and painting and having fun with colors and shapes. And I just wanted to experiment with that. It's just a little drawing that I did with some colored pencils. I wanted to stick to a warm color palette. And here's some quotes about remembering to be gentle with myself and just relearning the concept of failing and that it's okay to just be, and that I'm not wasting my time doing that. And here's a little sketch of IU because I just felt like drawing IU. I can kind of tell it's becoming the springtime because I have like pressed flowers and flower drawings all around. And I really like this quote as well, where it just says, relax, you'll become an adult, you'll figure out your career, you'll find someone who loves you, you have a whole lifetime. Time takes time. The only way to fail at life is to abstain. And this was such a relevant quote to me because I've literally spent all my teens and my 20s trying to hustle, which is not a bad thing. If you have the drive, I think it's perfectly healthy to do so. But I know that I spent a lot of time like stressing out about how I need to catch up with everybody. And I literally went from like a science major, hard gunner, pre-med student to wanting to pursue a career in art. You just really never know what happens. And I think that trying to figure out your life by the age of 18, it's almost ridiculous to me. You grow through the years. I know that I'm not the same person as I was 10, 20 years ago. I feel so old saying that, but it's just a reminder that yes, time is limited, but also there's so much time to find yourself. There's so much time for things to unfurl, and it's just important to enjoy the process. The next page is a little concept drawing. I wanted to make this duck and puppy painting for my best friend, but I ended up going with a different design years later. For some reason, I just could not seem to replicate this on my watercolor paper to paint, and I got frustrated with it, but I still really like the way I sketched this one out. This is my mixed media painting that I did in May 2021. Wow, it's a long time ago. My style has changed since then. But basically this is a mixture of watercolor, color pencils, and water brush pens. And I outlined everything as well as highlighted everything with white jelly marker, which I still really, really love. I think in the future though, I want to invest in like a white gouache or white opaque paint. I feel like I have a little more control with that. Anyways, and I'm still pretty proud of it. It's so cute. And more quotes about slowing down and more watercolor pen experiments. I was feeling a little rusty and I wanted to try doing a more simplistic doodle. I don't quite love it, but at least I drew something. And this page here is when I asked Instagram what prompts or word to use to draw and doodle, and this is the finished product. Someone of course asked for a frog and some food. It made me so hungry. My sister also asked me to draw her, so this is my sister. And someone asked me to draw a cat. I actually really like the way this turned out, but it took me so long to draw. Animals take me so long to draw. They have a completely different facial structure, and I do enjoy drawing them once in a while, but it's just not my cup of tea. But I still really like it. And I really like this thing here. I kind of copied from one of my journals. Someone asked me what inspires me, and I drew this. Basically a quote from Alice in Wonderland. Sometimes I believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. I absolutely love playing around the themes with Alice in Wonderland. There's just so much to go off of. So whimsical, and you can also go as dark and as interesting or as pretty as you'd want it to be. It inspires me so much. I actually really, really love this page. I was on a really bad journaling dry spell and nothing inspired me. So this was the page that kind of got me back into the groove of things. So here's a drawing or sketches here. I'm actually not very happy with, but I'm just glad that I got to just scribble something on the paper. I love the quote up here too. The moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease to be able to do it. Peter Pan. And I think that's so relevant. There's many a time, and I still do now, that I just keep myself back from doing anything just because I doubt myself every time. And I think one of my favorite quotes from this page, difference between a dream and reality is belief. This is literally me reminding myself to believe in myself. And I also used pressed flowers from the roses that I bought with my mom when we went to the farmer's market. And it was such a lovely time. I miss her so much. This is like literally me hoarding my stuff, like tea bags and scraps of paper, and just putting it on here. And here are just swatches of my new pencils that my neighbor got for me. He is such a sweet man. He loves to gift me art supplies because his late wife was an artist, and he understood how much it meant to her and how supplies really made a difference for her artwork. It's just so sweet. My heart hurts. And this is the pencil drawing with the new pencils that I got. I wanted to try it out on this page as well. I just thought it was so smooth, so buttery, and it honestly really did make a difference. I still use it to this day. And here is a postcard from Disney World when I went to Florida with my boyfriend and his twin. I think it was after their board exams. And this is a postcard that I got from Epcot Park, where it basically is like a glorified foodie experience. Eat all these really tiny yummy foods from all over the world. And this one I got from the Japantown, I guess. And I thought it was so cute, I had to keep it in here. I also used this to cover up a really bad ink drawing in the back of this page. We don't talk about her. I think I haven't drawn in a long time and wanted to loosen up, so I just decided, why not just draw with a gel pen? No pencil, no direction, no nothing. At least I loosened up, I guess.